What's up, guys? I'm back here for say hello to the turkeys, and I'm back for a new review. So tonight we have a new review for the new project from Paramore. So I had no idea they were actually going to drop something. I did knew they dropped some singles, but I didn't know they were coming out with like an actual new project. You know what I'm saying? So I was kind of surprised by that. Because they haven't dropped a project in like 5 or 6 years, something like that. So it has been a long time, but I was kind of not sure what to expect because I haven't heard the singles, so I didn't know what to expect because they kind of have changed a lot with their sound. Like they kind of started out their career back in the 2000s with the emo rock type scene, and then then when that sound kind of started to die out a little bit, they kind of changed into more of the pop type sound. Like, but don't get me wrong, they still sounded great though. Like Paramore back then still sounded great in the pop lane too. Like to me, so and plus Haley's a very talented singer, so she's just very talented. And so it really didn't change much for me. But besides that, though, this project here was kind of a new sound. Kind of, it was more post-punk sound. Like what I mean by that is like they still had the angst, though. Kind of like they still had that punk, like kind of like I'm trying to find the word edge. Yeah, they're punk. They still had that edge kind of, but it was done in more of a folksy type way. Like yeah, there was still some pop, but it was still that they kind of went back a little bit to their punk edge a little bit, but combined it with like some folksy type sounds. And the project itself, though, like the first two tracks were very good. Like, and the whole theme of the album was just kind of about what Paramore's experienced, what they've experienced from the past 5 or 6 years from touring and all of that. Like Haley talked a lot about just the world, how screwed up the world is, what she's gone through with like experiences dealing with people and relationships. He said it's kind of from when I saw her describing the project, she was talking about how she felt like the project was just kind of a combination of just the themes were just kind of a combination of everything she went through. Like for example, she said it was just a lot of she went through a lot of bad shit combined with like really good stuff though too. Like he talked about love. She talked about, dealing with relationships. She talked about things going on in her personal life. Kind of things they've seen, like, in the world while touring. Because that was kind of the theme of what they were going for. Stuff they saw while touring. That's what they were kind of going for. That's what I got. So, but but overall, though, the project was cool. I feel like they were... I feel like the project itself was just very... Some of the songs were very bland, kind of. Like, not all of them. Like, don't get me wrong, there were some songs in there that were very, very good. Like, I think it was called Small Man, Big Dignity? Yeah, Small Man, Big... That was a very good song. But like that was my favorite song throughout the whole album. But just a few of the songs on there were very bland, not very good. Well, I wouldn't say not good, just not very, just kind of dryish. Like, yeah, you kind of seen the themes they were going for, and don't get me wrong, Haley can sing. It's just I feel like some of the sounds they were going for wasn't exact. It just felt not. It just kind of felt like they were forcing it a little too much. Like it felt like they were forcing too much of kind of one particular sound throughout certain songs, and it kind of felt like some of them were just kind of like some of the tracks back to back to back kind of sounded the same after a while because it was just so bland. And I feel like the album was cool though. Don't get me wrong, the album was cool. Like yeah, some songs were very good, but it just feels like probably it's more of a whole as a project. It didn't feel very cohesive. Like it just felt very bland. Didn't feel very cohesive. So it probably won't be a project of Paramore's I'll go back to. But that being said, though, I do think, like I said, Haley's very talented. And some of the songs did sound good. Like some of the songs where I think some of the songs where it really did show like them combining their kind of like edge a little. They're combining their edge a little bit with kind of like the folk type sound, folk pop type sound. I do feel like those were the songs that actually did sound really, really good. Like those were my favorite ones. But some of them were just a little too pop. Some of them were too pop to me, where it just sounded too bland. That's what I felt. Some of them. So that's why I say a lot of the project as a whole just like the project felt like Paramore, but not really. Like it was just more of a project that I personally won't go back to. But it was probably the best possible the way I can describe this album is probably average to me. But yeah, just besides that though, cool project from Paramore. It was still very, very good to hear from them. For like I said, about 5 or 6 years though now. So it was still very good to hear. So that being said, that's really all I have to say though. Yeah, that's really y'all comment y'all's thoughts down below on the project. Yeah, cool album. Average. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say. So thank y'all so much for watching. Subscribe, like, share the video and all that. Say goodbye to the turkeys, and I will see you guys soon. Goodbye.